Welcome to Redefining You Beyond Your Scars, where we discuss empowering topics focused on propelling you forward beyond your life wounds into the signature life you desire for you. Our topics will focus on empowering you to redefine your past life story, redefine your mindset and your patterns so you can be an intentional author of your story going forward with power, grit, and resilience. So if you are ready for powerful insights and haha moments to propel you on your journey forward, then stay tuned and let's stay connected. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Redefining You Beyond Your Scars. My name is Georgia Wolfe-Samuels, and I am a Redefine Her strategist, also known as a life impact coach, on a mission to empower other women to embrace their value so that they can respond to the world in power. Today's show is show one of the Growing Through It series and is titled The Journey of a Seed. I am so grateful for each and every single one of you. One of my extremely rewarding practices is the practice of gratitude. Whenever I feel like I may not be in the best of mood, I find that practicing gratitude uplifts my spirits. One of the things that I am extremely grateful for over the last year is the opportunity during the pandemic to work from home. I consider that a privilege for me and a privilege for my family as well, right? Not everyone was fortunate enough or was allowed to work from the comforts of their home, right? We have lived in this home now for maybe over 5 years, roughly about 5 years. I fell in love with my home the first time I pulled up with our realtor, primarily because of all the trees that are on the property as well as that surrounds the property, right? On the property itself, the previous owner had planted a lot of fruit trees. We had plum tree, blueberry trees. I don't think we had no cherries. It was plum, peaches, apples. I think we had like 3 variations of apples, and as well as a peach tree and some blueberry trees. Anyhow, I thought it was just so beautiful. I remember maybe 2 weeks before, 2 weeks before closing, my husband and I did a drive-by and found out that the previous owner had uprooted all the trees to take to his next property. Well, that did not go over so well, and in fact was a battle up to the closing because we were not closing until he planted back all 19 trees. Yes, 19 trees on the property. There's a term for it. I don't remember what the legal term is, but in essence, it was illegal for him to remove the trees because they were attachments to the property that were there at the point when we observed and decided to go under contract. And so it was illegal for him to remove it without our permission, right? Anyhow, today's show will be focused on our growing pains using the analogy of a seed's journey, right? Oftentimes we look at a tree. Thought I heard something in the bushes, sorry. Oftentimes we look at, a tree and what it produces, but we never really give much thought to what the seed or the tree endured before the tree itself emerged above ground and began to blossom or bear fruit, right? That is, if that's the purpose of that tree. But just like a tree experiences its moments, we also experience it moments, right? So what are it moments? It moments are the dark experiences that we encounter on our life journey. The trees that emerges and gets to the stage of blossoming or bearing fruit are the ones that endure the struggle below ground when it was initially planted. We are like these seeds. We are supposed to grow through it. The it is different for each and every one of us, but the commonality with it is it occurs in moments, whether it is small fractions of time or an extended period of time. The other commonality with it is it has an impact on each and every one of us, and our perspective of it, if not properly aligned, will end up erroneously defining who we think we are, right? But moments don't define us. That's the important part. Moments don't define us. They instead are meant to develop us. In other words, what the seed, you and me, endures is pivotal for all our growth, right? Let's talk about the journey of a seed. Hi, babe. Let's talk about the journey of a seed. Seed here is analogous to you and me. The word seed takes on different meanings. For example, one, the most obvious is it is the embryo of a plant that can grow into a new plant, right? Or two, the word seed is often used metaphorically to convey new ideas. But in whatever context it is used, a seed carries within itself new life. And that's the way I like to think of a seed, right? We each and every one of us has new life within us. We have the greatness within us that we need to release or unleash into the world, right? So in today's discussion, the seed represents you and myself, as I consider us all seeds created for a specific purpose to bloom despite where we are planted or regardless of the season of life that we are in. The ultimate goal is for us to align with our purpose, unleash that inner greatness that is within each and every one of us, and ultimately to create progress in the world, which, by the way, aligns with my overarching belief that we all have greatness within us and we're all created to create progress in the world. My belief is rooted in 2 Timothy 1:7, which goes, "For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline." And I think that's from the NIV version. Anyhow, today, if you allow me to, I want to inform your perspectives of the dark seasons or your it moments. Thanks, babe. Or the it moments that you may experience from time to time as a reminder using the analogy of a seed. Oftentimes, we look at the results that other people accomplish, but we don't necessarily think about what they may have endured before they achieve their pinnacle of success as they define it, right? But there's a strategy to success as we define success for ourselves, right? It's not determined by anyone outside of us. We determine what our vantage point, what our perspective, what type of success we want for our individual lives, right? As we look at others, things may look polished on the outside, but every single one of us experience challenges and setbacks and failures from time to time. If we allow it, these challenges can cripple us and deter us from our dreams or the goals that we have established in an effort to achieve that dream or desire that we have for our own lives, right? But I encourage you to embrace the challenging seasons because they are all a part of the alignment process, right? Remember what I said before? Or it moments are meant to push us into growth, right? Despite what is going on around you, there is greatness within you, and you are meant to grasp the lessons from the varying seasons as opposed to allowing the seasons themselves to define you. Remember, these seasons, I call them it moments. Let's not allow them to define who you are or who we are. I assimilate this point with that of a work of art. To fully appreciate a work of art or a masterpiece is to look beyond its physicality and to acknowledge the time, dedication, and challenges that ultimately make that work of art so exquisite. The same concept applies for seeds. While most people think about what the seeds produce, oftentimes we don't consider what goes into creating the seed or what the seed endures before it emerges above the soil. A bit about my story. In my life, I have had many it moments that I previously allowed to define who I am. That is until my major disruptive moments a few years ago, where I call it my rock bottom moment. It was the point where the only options I had was to either stay down or get back up. Shameless plug here. I talk about it all in my book, Redefining Her, My Journey to Self-Acceptance and Love. My life was heavy, and up to that point, how I showed up in all my relationships, whether it was work, family, friends, and most importantly, the relationship with myself, is what I termed the half pint me, also known as mini me, right? And that label, that story that I told myself about who I was influenced by several it moments over the course of my life, to include abandonment by my mother, sexual abuse, domestic violence, miscarriages, and the fear that I would never become a mother, and many, many, many more it moments that were influencing and fueling my thought patterns and my habits. Rock bottom is a pivotal place because it is a place where most people say, I never want to feel that way again. My neuro environment then began to process and began to focus on how to never feel that way again. But I did not do it alone. Seeking God's identity of who I am was pivotal in my shift, and through Him, I learned who I am authentically, right? Who am I really, right? Pivotal scriptures that helped me on my journey to redefine me included Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And Jeremiah 1 verse 5, which says, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. And before you were born, I consecrated you. I appointed you a prophet to the nations. Right? These were pivotal scriptures that definitely helped me on my journey, right? To redefine me and to kind of go through and I would say navigate those it moments and those it experiences that I was going through at that rock bottom moment, and even subsequent it moments that spurred up, because it doesn't stop. What changes is how we then deal with them, right? The other thing that helped me was I also hired a therapist to help me navigate and place my it moments into perspective. I also hired a life coach to hold me accountable and to help me navigate my progress forward. What I learned through this process is that the most important story is the one that we tell ourselves. And the story that we tell ourselves is directly impacted by our perspectives of our it moments. Guys, I keep hearing noises in these bushes, and we have a lot of deers and coyotes as well. So pardon me as you see me turn around from time to time when I hear noises, because I just want to make sure that I'm safe, right? Anyhow, so today I want to offer you 3 pointers to inform your perspectives as it relates to what a seed endures before it emerges above ground, which is synonymous with the disruptive moments we may experience in our lives from time to time, and how to navigate through these moments, right? How to navigate through these it moments, or navigate through it. The first pointer is have faith, walk by faith and not by sight, right? Before a seed emerges from the soil, the seed cannot see above ground level. So while you are going through your challenges and your setbacks, or what I refer to in my book, Redefining Her, as disruption or the disruptive moments, you may not be able to see beyond your dark experiences or comprehend what on God's earth is going on. What is on the other side of these challenges that you're experiencing, right? But similar to a seed, there's a purpose in these dark moments. It may appear to you that you are buried when in actuality you are planted in preparation for greater, right? The seed, you, still grows in the dark. There is a purpose for the dark moments. Your experiences, whether they're negative or positive, are what I call the germinating or the preparation process for your purpose, right? There's a point to it all, right? Because there is greater for you beyond what you can see with your own two eyes. In these dark seasons or dark it moments, have faith in the purpose of the season, knowing that God is available to you throughout the journey, right? The second pointer is, do not compare your journey to the journey of others. Your journey will differ from the person next to you. To grow, the seed must be planted at the appropriate depth required for the heights it is destined for. All trees are not destined for the same height. Everybody can't be president, okay? Similarly, your journey and the journey of your brother and your sister or your friend or your neighbor or your mentor, etc., they are not the same. It may take some time for you to sprout or to flourish. You may be planted at a deeper and therefore take a deeper level, and therefore, you take a little longer to sprout above ground. However, the depth of the seed is important. If planted in shallow ground, the seed, you may not have enough soil to take root. Let that sink in a little bit. All right? However, as I stated in my first pointer, it is a part of the germinating process. The depth in which you are planted is directly related to the heights that you are created to achieve. And so it is important that you are firmly grounded so that when you emerge, you can withstand the winds and the storms because they will continue to come. Not because you emerge above ground level mean that, oh, all of a sudden the storms stop. No, you have hurricane, you have earthquake, you have tropical storms, you have lightning, you have all kind of different storms, all right? And they will continue to come. You are planted at the depth required for you to build the resiliency that you will need on your purpose journey. The third and last pointer is you are not the soil. You are meant to absorb the nutrients, also known as the lessons, from the soil. Sometimes the dark places that we tread have a tendency to misinform who we are. Your experiences, whether negative or positive, do not define you. Instead, your experiences are meant to inform you and to prepare you for your purpose. You can have it, baby. You can go ahead and take yours. Sorry, guys. Right? They're meant to inform you about who you are, right? And prepare you for your purpose. The disruptive moments you experience are pivotal to your becoming or your emergence above ground, right? Your disruptive experiences are meant to bring you into alignment with who you were created to be, not to define who you are. So take the nuggets or the lessons from your experiences, knowing that they are meant to inform you. They do not define you, right? So let's recap, right? Your perspective in your seasons of darkness are pivotal to your success. 1, walk by faith, not by sight. The seed, also known as you, when planted, cannot see above the ground level before it emerges above ground. So during the challenging seasons, trust the process and walk by faith, knowing that we serve a God who is available to you. We can have it out here, baby. Want to eat out here? Yeah, we'll eat out here. I'm almost done, right? So during these challenging seasons, trust the process, right? Know that God's got you. Walk by faith, knowing that we serve a God who is available to you throughout the journey for guidance and for protection, right? The second pointer was, do not compare your journey to others. The depth at which you are planted may be different from the person next to you. We're not going to the same place. We're not here for the same reason, right? But together we are connected by our individual purpose, right? You are planted at the depth required to take root, which is directly related to the heights that you are destined to achieve. You are planted at the depth required to ensure that you are resilient or firmly grounded so that you can withstand the winds and the storms because they will continue to come. The third and last pointer was that you are not the soil. Your experiences or your it moments, you are not them. You are not it. You were planted in the soil. Your experiences, whether they are positive or negative, are meant to inform you, not define you. You experience your experiences. You are not your experiences, right? So I thank you guys for taking the time to listen to or allowing me to inform your perspective today, right? I would love if if you really liked what you hear about my message, I would love to hear your feedback on this message, right? So please feel free to leave a comment below. And you could also email me. All my contact information will be below. Right? I invite you to connect with me on my various platforms. You can find me on all social media handles at Georgia Wolfe-Samuels or on my website, georgiawolfesamuels.com. Let's stay connected for resources to help you execute a life of impact. One love and every blessing to you. Take care.